Hey everybody, and welcome to SideQuest. Today we're going to take a look at Prince of Persia for the SNES and let you know exactly why you should be playing this game. Prince of Persia is a cinematic platformer, and it's believed to be the game that kicked off and created the genre. The game is tough, innovative, and a total blast. It was created by Jordan Mechner, who was already an established game creator with his hit game Karateka. Prince of Persia has gone on to have many sequels and a movie, and has stuck around well into modern gaming, and it's today's subject on SideQuest. Prince of Persia was one of those rare games that completely captured my attention during the entire playthrough. The game straddles a line between being a Metroidvania-style experience and puzzle platformer. It's often referred to as a cinematic platformer due to the character's lifelike and believable movements, whereas in a normal platformer, like the Super Mario games for example, the player's character can jump at unreal heights or can run at non-earthly speeds. In a cinematic platformer, the player moves about near to what is actually humanly possible. In fact, the game's creator modeled the movements of the main character after that of his own brother. Prince of Persia was originally developed for the Apple II computer and was a critical hit. However, the game did not sell very well until it started to release on other gaming systems. The SNES received a port in 1992, which included a longer time limit. The original version of the game gave the player 60 minutes to rescue the princess, and also some additional levels. The player controls an unnamed hero who falls in love with the Sultan's daughter. The antagonist of the game, Jafar, who is the Sultan's visor, throws our hero into the depths of the dungeon while the Sultan is off on an expedition. The Sultan's daughter is then given an ultimatum by Jafar: either marry him or die in 2 hours. The simple story sets up a tense campaign as our hero must climb, jump, and dodge deadly obstacles to make it back to the palace in time. One of the driving forces, and potentially the most anxiety-inducing things about Prince of Persia, is our hero only has 2 hours to save the princess. After a couple of playthroughs, I can admit that the time limit not only enhanced the experience of Prince of Persia, but I don't think it could have worked any other way. The gameplay takes a few minutes to get used to, but once you feel comfortable, the game runs very smoothly. However, this is a game you will die in over and over again, and the key to the game is memorization, trial and error, and often tedious but rewarding controls. For example, in order to drop down a level at a pit, you have to use the A button to walk slowly to the edge, get as close as you can, turn around, and finally press down on the D-pad. It's a long string of button presses to just hang from a ledge, but once you master it and can do it quickly, the motions are totally satisfying. As you progress through each level, the hero must avoid deadly spikes, jump cavernous pits, and open gates by stepping on hidden platforms. Although this is a simple premise, the level design makes this much harder to achieve. Breaking away from a linear mindset is key to rescuing the princess in under 2 hours. And the player must solve these puzzles while frantically avoiding death traps and fighting off the palace guards. The hero receives a sword early on in the game, and that is your only weapon between you and the gauntlet of enemies you will be facing. Although most enemies can be handled pretty easily, there are a few that can drive you mad. Battles with enemies require quick wits and calculated moves as you parry off attacks and return sword stabs with precise timing to kill the guards. The penalty for dying in Prince of Persia is essentially a time loss. The hero will start at the beginning of the stage he was in, but the clock will keep running. Although most of the level design is brilliant, I did find a few areas to be unnecessarily difficult. Hidden platforms and sudden traps can seem unfair at the moment, but a lot of this game is achieved through trial and error. After completing my first run, I was shocked at how well the running clock worked. I was constantly trying to find the next platform or the next hidden tile to step on, all while pressing the time remaining button to see how I was doing. As a gamer who doesn't necessarily like having a time limit, I grew a new respect for the sense of urgency it provided. The 95 minutes it took for me to complete the game felt like 15. Once the end credits rolled, I instantly wanted to jump back in and beat my time. Prince of Persia is a solid gaming experience, and it's one that can hold up well in this day and age. Hey, thanks for watching this video all about Prince of Persia on the SNES. Over the next few videos, I'm going to continue to cover more cinematic platformers on the SNES. I have a fascination with these type of games, I played tons of Out of This World when I was a kid and loved it. I also think that these type of games help form my love for darker indie games like Limbo and Inside, although it's pretty easy to love those two games because they're amazing. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on Prince of Persia and your thoughts on cinematic platformers, and as always, be sure to give me a like and a subscribe. It helps me out tons and I totally appreciate it. And I'll see you next time on SideQuest.